Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is video number 1 out of 2 after yesterday's abysmal snooze fest thanks to England and Gareth Southgate. Actually, thanks to Gareth Southgate. If you haven't caught that review, you can catch that right here from last night where it all went down. Or well, nothing went down, nothing happened. But go and check out what I had to say if you haven't seen it already. On top of that, make sure you're subscribed and you got the notification bell on to catch video number 2, as we do already have quite a lot that's happened today and we're going to get through it. I'm sure there's going to be much more later on, so watch out for video number 2 later tonight. Let's get cracking. There's been... in a normal world, I would look at this and go, whoa. But with Chelsea, it's not a normal world. So I'm going to tell you what I think. Let's get into it. Here's the latest around Alexander Isak. Breaking! Chelsea make inquiry for Newcastle striker Alexander Isak. That came from the Daily Mail. This is big, right? This is the sort of potential signing, target, should we say, that I'd look at and go, yeah, absolutely. Of course. Take him, without a doubt. Do I think Chelsea are actually going to pursue, though? You'd like to think, innit? I don't think we will. I think this is just to make us look a little better. And this is why. Any deal would take a club record fee beyond the £115 million spent on Caicedo. So that's dead in the water then. On top of that, Isak currently gets £120,000 a week at Newcastle. He's going to want something quite substantial. Now again, this is a type of player with a type of record that you would do it for. Right? In a position that we urgently need. You would do it, right? I would. Chelsea won't. Chelsea won't. So, as great as this sounds as a link, I don't see this happening. And if it does, I'm going to say this now. If Chelsea do what I deem the unthinkable, and they somehow do get Isak to the club, I will be here and I will say without doubt and with everything in my capacity, fair play Chelsea. Right? Finally. The one thing that could help is the link yesterday that came out. I'm not sure if it was the Daily Mail as well, but there was a bit of a rumour that Madueke is being watched by Newcastle. Now, this is where maybe, there's make weight in this. This is where maybe the fee becomes possible. Would Isak take 150 grand cap though? It's an increase on what he's getting at Newcastle, but best believe Newcastle are not a club that's going to constrain themselves with salary. Newcastle are owned by the Saudi state. If there's one state in the world, on the planet, that doesn't really have to worry about money, it's them. So I'm sure they're not going to put a salary cap in. They'll be sensible, I'm sure, but they're not going to restrict themselves like we have. So Isak does have more shout of getting a better salary at Newcastle than he does at Chelsea. What Newcastle don't have is European football. Now, Chelsea would have helped themselves if we got Europa League, at least, but we got Conference League. So that's not really something to brag about. We'll see. I'm not quite sure where this one will go. I don't think we'll get Isak, if I'm honest. I just don't think it's financially feasible for what Chelsea are looking to do. For me, it's financially feasible. I'd do it. But I don't think Chelsea are going to bother. And I think there is another striker that is feasible, that is realistic. And it's this guy. Well, not this guy. Forget this guy. This guy I'm going to talk about in a bit. This striker. Chelsea and West Ham are showing concrete interest in Jonathan David. He is also a Manchester United shortlist. A move to the Premier League is currently the most likely. He will leave Lille for 20 to 25 million euros this summer. Now, people have had a problem with Jonathan David, right? And, he's not good enough. He's not good enough. It's funny because the same people that are propping up youth that are completely unproven yet and believe they've watched every single clip that exists about that youth player are the ones saying that Jonathan David, rubbish, when they're the ones that always back themselves up with stats. And when you look at the stats, Jonathan David's stats are actually good. Actually good. He scored 34. What was it? Was it 20 goals in like 30 appearances or something like that in the French league? I mean, it's a decent return. But yeah, apparently that's not good enough for some of the people that want youth players, but only youth players to come in that no one really knows about. Jonathan David, when you're comparing to players like you're going to go and get an Omarodion, or you're going to go and get John Duran, or I'd take Jonathan David all day long. All day long. Now, financially, this is feasible, and this is where I say that this is realistic. Now, why is this realistic? He wouldn't be my prime target. I think Isak is above. I think even Osimhen. I think all these guys that are at a level, you know, you can say Sesko as well. When you're looking at the finances on this guy, it is feasible. It is something Chelsea can do. 25 million euros. Jonathan David is he 24? I'm going to look this up right now. Jonathan David, 24. He's 24 years old. And his salary, wow. Wow. He's on 27 grand a week. This is a deal that I think Chelsea... I'm going to say it here, actually. I'm going to say it with a bit of chest. I think Jonathan David's the guy that we're going to sign. I think Jonathan David is the striker we're going to sign. Now, we have signed someone else. I'm going to get to him. But I do think Jonathan David is the one we're going to sign. And I have to be honest, if we are going to choose between John Duran, Omarodion, these guys, and Jonathan David, I'm taking Jonathan David. Right? I'll take Jonathan David. I'm not entirely happy with him, but he's someone I can settle with. Because I don't believe he's rubbish. Some people are making it look like he's rubbish. He's absolutely dire. He's not. He's all right. It's all right. Do we need all right? No. But when you look at some of the names we're linked with and some of the kids that we want to bring to the flipping club and put into a number one role, or at least into a competitive role with Jackson, I'd take Jonathan David. You know, we have to settle for scrubs, don't we? We have to settle. Now, he's the best of the bunch. Ultimately, I'd take Isak all day long. If you gave me Isak or Jonathan David, it's a no-brainer. I'm taking Isak tomorrow, right? And I'd pay the money. But I'm saying, are Chelsea going to do that? No, I don't believe they are. Jonathan David, though, here's what David Ornstein had to say yesterday. To my knowledge, there have been no Chelsea-Lille conversations about Jonathan David yet. We will have to see how it develops. Chelsea are weighing up multiple options, and David is said to be high among them. So, again, I think this is financially feasible. I think this is the one that we're probably going to go for. And you know what? I'm actually going to do it some justice overall. I'm actually going to bring up exactly... because we like to go by stats, don't we? I don't, but let's go with stats. He scored 19 goals in 34 league appearances and 4 assists. 26 goals in 47 appearances in all competitions, including Conference League, Coupe de France, and the Champions League qualifier, where he scored 1 and 2. Overall, he scored 84 goals in 183 games for Lille. It's all right, isn't it? It's, you know, yeah. He has scored 78 out of 142 as a centre forward, and has also scored 14 out of 44 as a second striker. So he does offer a little bit of flexibility. So there you are. And he's got 26 goals in 48 appearances for Canada, but that's Canada, and sometimes they play against, I don't know, I was going to say Alaska, but they're the United States. I'm trying to think of a San Marino in America. I don't know, one of the Caribbean islands or something. But anyway, you get it? He's all right. Not blockbuster, but not rubbish either. So for the fee, I think Jonathan David would be worth it. But there's another striker we've just brought to the club, or we're bringing to the club, and it's this person. Here we are. Check this out. Guiu To Chelsea, here we go. The club has just informed Barca on plan to trigger €6 million release clause for 2006. Born striker. Verbal agreement in place with Guiu's agents, now proceeding with formal steps later this week. Guiu expected to sign long-term deal at Chelsea. Now, this is not a deal for Strasbourg, apparently. Strasbourg are not involved in this. This is for Chelsea. It's for the first team squad. So if this is how it's going to be, I agree with having 3 strikers. I said this prior. Some people are like, we don't need 3 strikers. We do need 3 strikers. Right? When injuries pop up again, it better not. But when they do, because I believe they will, when they do, you'll be thankful that we have 3 strikers. But if we were to get a Jonathan David, and there's Nico Jackson, and there's Mark Guiu as the third option, happy days. Mark Guiu, I'm actually for. Mark Guiu, for me, is the type of youngster that a top club should go for. 18, looks decent, he looks bright, he hasn't played that much, but he looks bright, he comes from Barcelona. Barca's academy is just something you can't really doubt. The talent that comes out of there is crazy, and even at worst, it's decent. At worst, Barca academy product, come on, La Masia. It's something that, if you are going to pluck out youth talent from somewhere, Barca are one of the places to do it. So if a top club is to bring in an 18-year-old for a low fee, low risk, that they can bring in to let grow and develop and learn, Barca and Mark Guiu is the type of person you do bring in. Now the problem with Chelsea is that we've signed about 68,000 other youngsters. That doesn't help the cause. That's the problem here. So it dilutes Mark Guiu. And I hope it's not going to dilute him, but he needs to have players around him that he can, bounce off and grow and develop with. And you know what I mean? This is why I'm saying Mark Guiu, when you are looking for a youngster, is the type of youngster that a top club should go for. So I'm happy with it. 6 million euros as well, low fee. I want to see what his salary is though, because we need that clarified. He was offered, apparently, according to Barca sources, which some of them you can't trust. Calma. Some of them were saying he was offered 2 million a year. That's crazy. He was on he was on £60,000 a year, I think it was, or 60,000 euros a year. And then he's offered 2 million a year. And apparently Chelsea have offered triple. Now, if Chelsea have offered triple that, we're technically paying him, 120 grand a week or something? We're not doing that. Because if that were to happen, oh boy, the same people that were saying we can't pay anyone above Cole Palmer, what are we doing? I don't think that's true. Right? So I'm curious to know, what is his salary? Is it triple what he was getting at Barca? Because if that's the case, he's on minimum wage. Technically, if he's going to be on £180,000 a year, that's 3.5k a week, I think. It's peanuts. So that's basically the latest with Mark Guiu. We'll see what happens in terms of his salary, but let me know your thoughts on Mark Guiu down below. This guy. AC Milan have contacted Chelsea over the possibility of signing Romelu Lukaku. Now that's from Di Marzio. Di Marzio has been a bit suspect recently, so take this with a pinch of salt. And you have to bear in mind as well, I can't lie, this is something Lukaku would probably do. It is. He's a snake, isn't he? So he's going to play for AC Milan, even though he played for Inter Milan twice. He's going to play for Arsenal or Tottenham, even though he played for Chelsea. He is that guy. He's just going to do it. He's, I think of Batshuayi and what he's done. He played for Besiktas, then he played for Fenerbahce. Now he's going to Galatasaray. It's just, that's the ultimate snake. That's like the snake of snakes. Lukaku, I wouldn't be shocked if he were to sign for AC Milan. I just would not be shocked. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think there's any legitimacy to this rumour, if I'm being completely honest. We'll see what happens. I'm just hoping the Saudis are going to come in and take him. Fingers crossed. To wrap up, bit of news, some banter. Let's end on a laugh. Here it is. Erik ten Hag set to sign new contract at Man United, as deal is now almost agreed. Contacts advancing to final stages this week with his agents to finalise terms. There will be changes in the staff, with Ruud van Nistelrooy as strong candidate as revealed. I'm telling you, and you know what? There's been a lot of Man United fans that think exactly the same, and I'm glad I'm not crazy, who reckon that, Erik ten Hag signed a new deal, but Van Nistelrooy is there and he's waiting. If anyone needs to cover as caretaker, Van Nistelrooy steps in. So Erik ten Hag, you're not let off the loose yet. However, you will be paid out a brand new contract. So congratulations, no matter what happens. Even if he gets sacked, he gets his full pay. So Erik ten Hag has done a number on Man United here, I think, because Man United should have got a new manager in and they didn't. And they're pretending like they wanted to keep Ten Hag all day long. They didn't. Ten Hag is the one getting the money here. Congrats. And we'll see what happens. I'm making an early prediction. I think Van Nistelrooy at some point, even if it's not next season, at some point will step in as caretaker manager. Ten Hag will be gone and Van Nistelrooy will step in. That's my early prediction. Clip that. We'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. Do not forget to check out video number 2 later on tonight. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell if you haven't done so already. Do not forget to check out the second channel. There is a brand new video coming in the next few days. So make sure you guys are going to be there for that one. As you guys are all on board for the new journey that's becoming on there. So make sure you guys are subbed over there. Link in the description. Check out the socials as well. I'll see you later on. Have a good one, people. In a bit. Take care and peace.